Hello everyone, it is Icylobster and this is game number 2. So if you have not seen the first one, this is the second game of the Asus Stars Invite, and it is the finals with Idra versus SeleCT. So this time we have Idra on the upper left versus SeleCT, the Terran in the bottom right. So this map is probably going to bring us an epic game. Just because it's so big. I hope for an epic game, because it is a long way down. There we are. And yeah. So I'm gonna take away the names. I'm debating if I should leave them up there. I don't know if people like it or not. I kind of like the extra room, but I don't know. I could also turn off the names and the life. I've always liked having the life on because I feel more info makes the game more interesting. But I don't know, maybe you get more anxiety and excitement from not seeing anything. Like you're just like, oh, I can't tell if he's beat up or not. I mean, until they add animations and something, it's like, well, they do. They have like bleeding and stuff for Zerg. Like if this Overlord gets beat up, he'll like bleed out of his eyes or something, which would not be fun. He actually has really weird. There's his head. That's a weird, like, I don't know, interesting. Anyways. I keep forgetting to put the production tab up. So we have a refinery going up for SeleCT. That's nothing that weird. Well, actually, it's a little. No, that's nothing that weird. And we have barracks. And then Idra is getting a fast expansion. Probably going to get a spawning pool next. Yeah. So he's doing like a fast hatchery. He loves to do that when he can. And this is a map that would allow him to. So if he can macro up, this will be a very interesting and intense game. So, and I do not expect him to get denied his third. I mean, the third you have to break down the rocks again, but it's a little bit. The fact that you're further away makes it a lot easier to secure it versus Zelnaga. And so we'll see what happens. And we have SeleCT scouting the wrong way, whereas Idra is going straight for the money, straight down. He's actually doing. SeleCT is doing 2 scouts, it looks like, so he's trying to find him right away. And he has a Reaper coming out, so this is. I've seen this every now and then. It's not the most common, but they'll use it for early harass and scout. So it doesn't generally do a ton because he's actually getting 2 Reapers. I actually wonder if he's going to get a few more. I've seen people get like 4 Reapers and just have them all game, because they can be pretty good. They definitely like own drones. So, and let's check the income. Yeah, so look at this. Look at these incomes. There's like exactly the same. Actually, SeleCT's ahead. But it's hard to tell about anything right now since we were such early on. And we have a scout in the base. So he actually has 2 scouts. The second scout's still in here. So he is seeing everything. It's not that common, I feel, like people scout with 2 SCVs or anything like that, because that's a lot of minerals you don't get. So, and we have 1 Reaper in here, and he is going to take 1 drone and get out. Yes. So Reaper is like one of the ultimate harass units, which is why they had to nerf it so heavily. Because in beta, you'd go Mass Reaper and just like win the game, which I'm sure Terran loved. But they do well. Right now, I feel like Reapers are underused because I think they are still very good for scouting. And we have 3 barracks into a command center, so he's doing expansion with barracks. So, and he'll probably use the barracks to transition into his mid-late game where he gets his medevacs. Right now we have 2 Reapers, and they can kite this queen all day, so she's got to be careful. The thing is, she's like the only thing that could really ward them off, except Lings, which I do not. Where are the Lings? There they are. There are the Lings. So these 2 Reapers are going back home. They have had enough of that. We actually have a 3rd one out here, so we have 2 gas coming up for Idra. So he's getting both of his gas in his main right now. I've noticed that he delays his gas a little bit. A lot of Zergs will get their first gas early on, and he is actually patrolling here in case any Reaper jumps in. But I've noticed he delays his gas, and what this does is it allows you to basically drone up a lot harder because you need minerals to drone up. Well, minerals and larvae, and if you're getting gas, that's less minerals and less drones. So that is why he prefers that, and it's actually really cool to get a bunch of drones early game, as long as you don't get owned by harassment. But seeing as how SeleCT is going to be moving into the mid game, it's not a big deal. He's getting a factory and probably going to go into a starport. We have a bunker at the expansion for defense. 2 Reapers right here. Third Reaper has the watchtower. Then we have a little Ling scout coming out. We have Overlord. They look so funny. They're just like prancing all around. I don't know. I like it. I approve. So we have a Spine Crawler coming up, and we have a bunch of tumors. So he's starting to get his creep spread going, and I could see it get really... Idra can be really on his creep spread sometimes, which all Zerg need to do, except if you are a new player, I would not recommend you focus on it, because you should work on your mechanics first, and this is sort of like the icing on the cake that is very important for professionals and whatnot. But I mean, you still need really solid mechanics, so... Alright, just scouting about, and nothing's going on yet. Let's check. We have a starport going up, and we have a reactor. So, possible Hellions? I don't know, we'll see. It's my only guess. And engineering for upgrades, and he is just going like Master Marine Marauder right now with a bunch of Reapers. Actually, does he have any Marauders? No, he's not even producing any. I don't think he does. Units tab, we see 3 Reapers, and then Idra has 52 drones to 34 SCVs, and he's probably going to get his 3rd soon. He's trying to currently break down the rocks. So, he actually does have a Baneling nest up with 3 Banelings, 3 Queens, and let's go to production. We have +1 melee upgrade coming up for Idra. We have a Spire going up. We have the centrifugal hooks, which is the Baneling speed, and 4 creep tumors. So he's spreading his creep all over the place right now. Look at this. And his 3rd is going up. And what is SeleCT doing over here? He's getting his +1 ranged and his stim packs. His stim packs are almost done. Which, if you do not know, stim packs are really good. They allow you to catch up stuff. You do a ton more damage. You do take damage, but that's why you have Medivacs. Medivacs heal you. And he is going to be trying to expand to his 3rd soon. And it looks like he did break his rocks. We have a little engagement here. I would say, yeah, Idra needs to get out of there. The Marines would destroy the Lings. And he's actually mixing his Reapers in with his army, it looks like. Which I do not see happen that often. Where you actually mix it in with your army. But it's interesting. We have a macro hatch going up for Idra. Macro hatch is very common. If you float out a couple extra minerals, just throw down another hatchery, because you will need the larva late game. Or basically, since Zerg is a reaction race, they react to everything. So having more larva allows you to use all of your minerals when you need to, and spend the rest in just like econ and macroing up and whatnot. It looks like they're going to be going for a harassment over on Idra's side. Are they going to walk there? I expect to load up and fly over there, but we'll see. And we have mutas coming out. There's a rally. I see 1 muta, 2 muta. Oh, we got a bunch of mutas. Okay, so let's check the units. We have 7 mutas out. The production, there are 3 mutas on the way. The +1 melee is almost done. The +1 ranged is on the way. And SeleCT is doing something. And his Reapers are over here chilling. And we have Idra moving out. Idra wants to be aggressive right now. So he's picking off 1 Marine. And SeleCT is getting fairly close to Idra's base now. He's taking his time. Does Idra know about this, though? Because he's bringing all this stuff back. So, I'm not quite sure. I think he does. And he's getting the +1 armor upgrade for his ground units. Yeah, Idra knows about this. So, it's possible he saw it with an Overlord or something. Or Watchtower. I don't know. We have the 3rd trying to go up for SeleCT. Idra has a Ling here. Idra knows all about it. And Idra actually has an Overlord right here. So he's going to take his 4th in reaction to the 3rd. He's just scouting about right now. Reapers are still over here. They haven't really done much. I could easily see them harass this in the future, though. The Overlord will spot them with some mutas. And is Idra going to do some harass? +1 armor on the way from Marines from SeleCT. We have a bunker here. We're getting missile turrets up now. I don't know if that'll be in time. The Marines have to get in position right now, because that is a lot of mutas. That is like 10 mutas right there. Okay, so his turrets are almost up. He is fully secured here. And it looks like so far it's been a pretty passive game. The only drop was pretty much held off. The mutas haven't done much. So it's been fairly passive. And letting Idra macro up is never a good idea, because he feels most comfortable like that. And we are actually getting all of our Reapers picked off. They're all dead. So anyways, his largest weakness would be a bunch of harassment, I would say, in early game. But to take him out mid-game, or late game, you had to have constant harass, which is what SeleCT's known for doing, so we may see a drop here. Except, once again, it's been spotted, so Idra has, like, superior, Overlord positioning. So this is going to go down, and Idra's actually going to make another hatchery, so yeah, he's just taking the entire map. So if I was SeleCT, I'd be a little bit concerned, and I might try and actually just macro off of it. He's making a full wall in with supply depots. He's got Marines in the back. There are actually no Marines over here, it doesn't look like. He has a missile turret, but, I mean, if the mutas got in back here, they could just start picking stuff off. And it's not that hard to take out one missile turret. We have him moving out, it looks like. Yeah, and we have +2 ranged for Marines on the way. So, and +2 ranged for Idra on the way. I do not see him get that often at all, and he's actually going to go in here and pick up a bunch of stuff. He blew, see, one turret just melted. So one turret can't really do jack against mass muta. We have second going up, and he's going to be making Thors in response to all the mutas, which is a common response. The problem with Thors, though, is you can magic box them, so which gets rid of their splash damage. But and we have another factory, which I'm going to assume is going to get a tech lab. Maybe, we'll see. And actually, that reactor earlier was for the starport, so he made it on the factory. Yeah, I don't think Idra's going to be able to do much. He might be able to get around the back. And he's actually going to pick off the 4th base from SeleCT. No, he got a half-life, though, so this guy, this little SCV, he's going to start cleaning it up. And I'm going to check the units. 79 drones to 64 SCVs. So I'm going to say Idra is pretty much where he wants to be drone-wise. I can't really see getting too much more drones. He might have a little bit extra in his main, which he could transfer over. And yeah, so he's actually he is maxed out. SeleCT is almost maxed out though, so this could be a pretty big battle. Except, there we go. So Idra almost got in the base. So, oh my god, the banelings are just going in here and getting everything. SeleCT did not have good enough of control, and the Ling's got a surround, so he's going to be completely cleaned up. I don't think he can do... No, he's getting completely massacred. That was incredibly one-sided. And I don't know if he can macro up fast enough against Idra. There goes his base. I'm going to say he is in big, big trouble right now. I don't know if he has enough to deal with this. I don't know if he has enough production facilities. Oh, he has a lot of reactor barracks, so maybe. And he has 11 Marines on the way, so he actually is macroing Marines up pretty fast. Marines are really good because they're one of the few units where Terran can mass them fairly easily. And they're very good when they're fully upgraded, which I think they are 2-2. Yes, they are 2-2. And then Idra's mutas have +2 attack, so that is fantastic. I don't actually see him normally get +2. He always gets +1, but he usually skims out on upgrades. So he's picking off 2 turrets. And the problem with Thors is that they are bulky, big, and they're not very mobile. Idra's actually going to swing around the back, and he might pick off all this because there are a bunch of turrets, but he has +2. Look how fast they die. Look at this. He just annihilates them. Now he does have to get out of here. He loses at least 1 muta. And all the Marines stemmed, so they are going to have to... These medevacs have a lot of energy, so it could be alright. Workers killed. So Idra has killed a lot of workers. Yeah, SeleCT his harass. He's tried several times, but it's always spotted. Idra has just way too much map awareness, and he has complete map control. Look at this creep spread right here. It is insane. And he has investors, which just own Marines, so I'm not quite sure what SeleCT's going to do here. He is definitely in not the happiest situation. So, I don't know. We have a bunch more barracks on the way, so this will allow him to macro faster if he loses his stuff. Idra is maxed out again, basically, and he has a bunch of mutas over here. SeleCT is almost maxed out again, but he has a ways to go still. And picking off the refinery. And he's probably going to pick up the command center. Oh my gosh, SeleCT can't get his next base. So SeleCT is in a very poor situation right now. This is the problem with Terran. If they get too defensive or too passive, they have a lot of trouble. They need to be more aggressive because they are a very good aggressive race. Zerg can be too because they're mobile, but Zerg does generally have to macro more because of the larva. We actually have Broodlords here, and we are getting +3 Zerg ranged attack, flying attack. So +3 for mutas on the way, which I hardly see Idra do, except he uses mutas heavily, so it does not surprise me that he would want it. We have +3 ground armor, and our Broodlords are done, and they're just moving out. We have 4 ghosts on the way, though, which are very good. The snipe can take out Broodlords fairly fast. They can just snipe them all out. And SeleCT he's not doing so well. He got a lot of fungals on the Marines. Idra did. So he's actually going to have to move out. We have 2 Vikings. No more Vikings on the way, actually, and 1 Corruptor is on the way for Idra, probably going to be a Broodlord. A bunch of Ghosts, though, so the Ghosts are very good. And he's going to actually have to deal with these Broodlords right now, because they're going to start sieging the front. So we might see snipes on them. We'll see. They can't even get out. They're actually getting picked up. Oh my god. These Ghosts are getting fungled and killed. So SeleCT is just in a very poor situation. Oh my goodness. Good fungal, very, very good fungal. These Marines are all in the red. We saw an EMP right there. He took out all the energy from the infestors. And the Vikings are actually starting to pick a lot off. He actually has a lot more Vikings than I thought. Actually 4, so that is like double what I thought. And the mutas are going in here, and they're starting to clean up all the air. Oh my gosh. SeleCT just doesn't have enough. And he is making 11 Marines, but at the same time, Idra's making 90 Zerglings. So Idra's basically maxed out again, whereas SeleCT is struggling to get 10 Marines out. So I don't think I need to tell you who has the obvious macro advantage in this situation. Yeah, look at this. Look at the stream right here. So, yeah. So I don't see how SeleCT can react and deal with this. He just can't make enough fast enough. And Idra's actually floating 5,000 resources, SeleCT 2,000. Except SeleCT can't spin them all. Not fast enough. And actually, we're not even seeing things built out of some of these. Okay, then a lot of the barracks are not being built out of. Which I feel like he should be doing because he's not in a very good situation and he still has money to spend. So I don't... There we are. Now they're all queued up. So I don't know. Idra has this giant, massive... He's getting more Broodlords. There's a bunch more Broodlords. A bunch of infestors. SeleCT sees all the infestors, so maybe more ghosts with the EMP would be good. And he might actually have to pick up some of these Marines. Marine micro. The infestors are going to come. If they get good fungals... oh, we got a good EMP here. We got almost all the infestors. The command center is going down, so SeleCT is essentially stuck on 3 bases the entire game, whereas Idra has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 versus 3 base. It's retarded. Like, if a Terran had 7 bases, I'll tell you what, this game would be over a long time ago. But, yeah, I don't... Yep, so we got the GG. And basically, SeleCT couldn't get a footing in. He couldn't get any of his classic harass on. All of it was completely stopped. So, my computer's like lagging the crap out right here. It's because it's Overlord. I'm going to go away from him. No, it's still doing it. So anyways, that was a reasonably good game. Except for the fact that SeleCT got no real harass, so it was a little bit one-sided, especially late game when Idra had 7 bases. So, anyways, on to game 3, and I hope to see you there.